Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Automated Advantage. Today we have Nasser on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, Nasser?
We are currently in the UK. We just opened a branch in the UK in June 2025. We also exist in North Africa, in Egypt. That's where we have our technical operation. All our technical team is in Egypt. We also have another location in Beirut, in Lebanon. We're establishing now in Saudi Arabia. Well, not right now. I mean, when we were supposed to be there by now, but unfortunately, because of the situation, we've delayed that until maybe June, July. I'm not sure. So we were previously in East Europe. We were in Moldova, but obviously, because of the Ukrainian war as well, we calmed down our operation in Moldova. But we plan to go back when things settle. So right now we're focused in the UK, to be honest, in the UK, and for us this is a hub to the Western Hemisphere. We've never actually worked with the West. I mean, we've done some projects, but our focus was always Africa, Middle East, East Europe, Russia, that part of the world, the Gulf. We've done a lot of business in the Emirates as well, United Arab Emirates, and all the Emirates, not only Dubai. So basically, for us, this is like a hub to the Western Hemisphere. We're not America, just West Europe. We're looking at West Europe, and obviously we'll be going back to Moldova at some point and cover that part of the world as well. Yep.
And so, specifically, what services are you providing? How are you helping clients?
Well, we started in 1997. In fact, at that time the web was new to the world, World Wide Web. We started with the basics, the domain, the website, and then we moved on to e-commerce, and then we moved on to software solutions. And in 2003, we went very high level. We went to the ERP solutions, which is the similar to SAP, Oracle, and so on. And we started actually competing with them. Imagine we started competing. Well, not in 2003. Let's say after 4 or 5 years, around 2008, we started competing with Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, and that's how we ended up in the Gulf as well. Because of our pricing, we had similar technology but lower budget, of course, and that's what took us to East Europe. Because Moldova is a very poor country, as you know, and they couldn't afford Oracle and SAP, so we took on projects in Moldova, public sector projects, mainly universities. So that was a success. So right now, we obviously AI has also come into the picture, but we are using AI as the last layer. We don't use it as a product. It's not a product. We don't sell it as a service. We don't sell it as a product, which is the correct way to do it. I mean, when you build a system, you need AI, so you add it as a layer. But we've been doing AI since I think around 15 to 18 years ago, we started doing AI. I mean, intelligence, algorithm, and software. I mean, that's what we do, and we've been doing intelligent systems for a long time. But now people call it AI to commercialize it, and that's one of the reasons why we found the UK market interesting. By the way, because here people understand cybersecurity and AI. That's it. But no, it's a long story. It's not just that. Those are components. But if you want to do digital transformation, you want to go through the journey of digital transformation. It's a long process, and those components are an add-on. Cybersecurity is an add-on. It's not a core issue, and AI is the same. It's an add-on. But building your core platform is another story completely. And here it's very expensive in the UK, well, in West Europe in general. So that's where we can compete. Because our production is in North Africa, which is at a very low rate, our operational costs are very competitive to the West Europe, to the UK, I mean. So that's one of the reasons why we came as well, to offer this high standard. We've got nearly 30 years of expertise. We've got a very huge portfolio, amazing portfolio, and we've done practically everything. Recently, believe it or not, which is something I've always run away from, fintech. I have
Hmm.
always run away from fintech because it's so complex, very complex, and a lot of competition. But recently, the UK made it mandatory for your tax, what you call it in the States, tax returns. I guess they call it the same
Yeah.
here.
Hmm.
HMRC in the UK implemented the tax to be digital. It must be that you cannot run away from it. It's compulsory. This started on April the 6th, just a few days ago. So they started with the self-employed and the landlords to catch them. You don't have a choice. No more paperwork. You must use an app, and that app is connected to HMRC, the tax authorities, and the bank at the same time. We're going into that as well. That just happened recently, by the way. That wasn't our part of our plan, but it so happened that we do have the technology and we can do it. So basically, we are one of those providers now in the UK, which is an amazing project.
That's interesting because I mean, my family lives in South Africa, and that's actually a thing in South Africa. So on your bank app in South Africa, they have
Yes.
access to your taxes, and then
Yep.
you can buy lottery tickets directly from your bank app. You
Yep.
can pay your electricity
Yes.
bill. Like
Yep.
it's incredible. And
Yeah.
I know we have privacy issues in the US, so I don't know that that'll ever happen. But thinking about how modern this country is,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take a country like South Africa, whatever, that's
Mm-hmm.
streets ahead in that
Mm-hmm.
technology.
Yeah. It was a good step, by the way, by HMRC, by the UK to do that. It's MTD, make tax digital. That's it. So, by the way, in Moldova, they had this. I was surprised. Moldova, they have access to all your accounts. I mean, they can even block your accounts. They can. If you owe them even $1, they can block your bank account. So there's a lot of transparency in Moldova. And tax Moldova is monthly. Here it's going to be quarterly. There it's monthly. So yeah, you can't run away from it.
So going back to your ERP conversation. So I'm a former SAP guy, and
Ah,
so you
great.
guys you wrote your own
Yes,
solution
we
then?
built.
Okay.
Yep, we built our own. But I tell you how it happened. It's not like we woke up one morning and said, "Let's build a system." No, because we were one of the pioneers in the Middle East for web, right? We went through a lot of clients. Like at the beginning, there was so many clients. Going through these clients, we came across clients who requested from us solutions. It's not that we didn't offer these solutions. We didn't know how to do them in the first place. So one of them, I think the first ERP we did was a university, one of the biggest universities in this country where we were. And they had been offered the solution from PeopleSoft, I think Oracle, at something like 800,000 or $900,000. It's just a huge amount. Universities are a big environment. So to automate a university is not it's not easy and it takes a long time. Uh, so they said we had done their website and a very simple solution for their instructors. So they sent for us. They said, "Guys, we want to build this in here in house." I said, "No way, I'm not doing it." And they said, "Yes, you are. How much money do you need?" I said, "I don't know because I've never done it." So he said, "Well, you have an open checkbook." I said, "Oh, great. If that's the case, I'll do
Wow,
it."
the perfect client.
Yeah. So, but I mean, they knew that we're not going to be nearing the $1 million, and we implemented that project for half the price of Oracle. That's where we started. So then we realized, let's do it. I mean, if we manage to do such an environment to implement such a huge system, we had like 16 people on the team, but we lived in the university. So we had access to all their inside processes, information. We were working with all the heads of departments. So that made it easy for us because I couldn't understand how a university functions on the inside. And going through that, that's what we call now digital transformation. They call it now, which is you design the business processes, you design the workflow, blah, blah, blah. You go through what ISO does basically. So you understand how things work, and then you convert that into a digital environment. That's basically what we did. And then we traveled. We started Emirates. We went to East Europe. We went to Russia. We went to Africa. We did it in Africa as well. So that's how we got into ERP. and I won tenders, by the way, against Microsoft and Oracle, not SAP. I never came across SAP. Africa was a tender Microsoft. No, sorry, Oracle. East Europe was Microsoft. It was a Romanian company. Yeah. So since when you win those tenders, you get encouraged, because if you win a tender which is based on the documentation, the tender documents, they're very strict. Plus, they send you inspectors to make sure that it's according to the laws and international standard, blah blah blah. So since we managed that, and I won those tenders, I thought, well, let's continue. That's what encouraged us.
I mean, that's really interesting because I mean, we filled them out in the past and stuff like that. It's surprising. I mean, I understand you can win something if you have a relationship, like you said, with the university. To win a tender against two
Yeah,
very
giants.
established organizations,
Yeah,
and you sort of have a solution, but you
yeah.
don't, kind of thinking about it.
No, but I
That's an
already
interesting.
had the solution.
Okay.
I already had references, and the TOR was very very complex. I mean, the terms of reference like 10,000 pages, and but you know how we won, because they wanted open source. They wanted the source code. It's a government entity, and that information should not come out. And Moldova is ex-Soviet, so you have Russia over them, like breathing over their necks. So they don't want that information to go out. And by the way, one of the competitors was a Russian company as well, but they kicked them out from the beginning. They didn't even they didn't even go through the next level, like the next stage in the tendering, in the bid. They didn't receive them because they wanted the information to be stored in Russia. But that doesn't make sense. I mean, why would you want it stored at your end? So we won on that aspect, which is the code is with you, it's on premises, your data is with you. We don't have access to your data. We just do the coding and we hand it over. And I did knowledge transfer. I transferred the knowledge to their technical team, who we helped them build, by the way. So they had a full technical team working, and they didn't need us. I mean, we obviously they needed us at the beginning, and even the maintenance agreement, they just canceled it, even though they paid us for it. They said we don't need you anymore, because they don't want us to see that information.
Well, what a novel concept, right? Your customer wants something very specific, and you
Yeah,
were able to deliver that, as opposed to
exactly.
trying to fit them into this package solution. And it
Uh,
makes a
that
ton of sense.
exactly. That was my vision from day one. It was like it was a challenge. I mean, my if you look at my history, even newspapers and so on, I used to publish these things. That why are you stuck with Microsoft or Oracle or whoever? I mean, you're not stuck with them. You know, do your own, do your own, and the internet gives you that possibility. I mean, we had a huge community of people working with us. It's not only us. I mean, you have a community. You can get information. You know that you can get information online. Now you guys have the AI. I mean, people are talking to the AI, which has made life for our developers easier. We didn't have those facilities before. I mean, we were doing raw code. I mean, from what we learned or through research, and now you have AI to help you. So now the process which used to take a developer a day, it's taking an hour, even less, 5 minutes maybe. The AI writes the code for you. So yeah, things have gone a long way. I never
Yeah, you
predicted
just
this, by the way. That's one thing I didn't predict, is the AI. The rest I
yeah.
did
I
not
mean,
decide.
I think it's interesting you said that. I think a lot of people, like you said, in days gone by, whenever many years ago, machine learning and things like that were super interesting. But the trajectory which it's taken over the last
Oh,
whatever it is,
it's
2 years is, I mean, I
amazing.
think it's unprecedented. But I mean, at the same time, this whole conversation about replacing jobs and things like that, it's like,
No,
yeah,
no, no.
no, not so much. It's to your point. I think it's much more of, look, you're going to get to the answer really quickly. You still need a developer to check the
Yeah,
homework
yeah,
and
yeah,
make sure
yeah,
that the code's tested and all of those
yeah,
things.
yeah. And
But you
yeah,
can just produce more in
yeah, it's
in the
quicker.
same amount.
Yeah, it makes life easier. It's more productive, less cost, if you look at it from that perspective. But building an ERP system, you need an analyst, you need requirements engineering, you need an architect, right? And you need a team. You need to brainstorm, because you're going through intricate details with processes which you don't know. And every client has their own unique environment, right? A developer cannot understand an engineer or person who does the coding. So you still need that team. Now, I don't know how AI does that. I've never used this AI, by the way. My team does, my partners do. But me personally, never. I've never used it. So I don't know how you can, like, can you tell AI, prepare, analyze workflow diagrams? I don't know. I mean, does
You
it do the
can.
whole thing?
Absolutely. I
Well,
mean, you depends on which ones you use, but I mean, you can use things like Claude and say
well, that's what they're
you give
using,
it
Claude. Yeah,
give it the basic, give
yeah.
it the basic prompts. And I mean, I built a proposal for an SAP for a client of mine
Hmm.
in 2 minutes.
You
It's
see?
like it just. I mean, you basically. The thing is, it's like anything. The difference is if you tell a human to do, say, I want you to build me this thing that looks like this. I mean, they're going to scribble notes down. They're going to do, and they're going to go
Yes.
and take time.
Yep. Yep.
If the more you prompt, the more you give it specifics, you tell it what role it has.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pulling all this information, and
That's
it's
amazing.
phenomenal.
That's
It's
amazing.
phenomenal.
So that
So
means, so I guess I'll retire soon. I mean,
maybe, well,
or
or use it, or
yeah,
use it more.
well, take it. Yeah, find a way to take advantage of it. I mean, to reduce the time, which is reducing the cost, and faster delivery to the clients, I
Mhm.
guess.
Exactly.
Um, no, it's interesting for me personally. I don't think I will dig too much into AI. It's not
Yeah.
interesting for me, and it's too
Yeah.
late for me to start learning.
Never too
Yeah,
late.
no, I mean, I would rather focus on business development, expanding our reach, and so on, and let the technical people take care of that. I used to be involved with the technical teams all the time. I loved it. I loved talking to them, watch what they're doing, help them out, brainstorm every day. But now doesn't interest me anymore because they don't need us anymore. They're using tools. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
So quickly, just to go back to the what you said, and I want to just to elaborate on that. What you said about digital transformation, and you take
Mhm.
that as the topic. What I've seen in the past, and I want you to validate this, is and it plays into the AI conversation and comment you made earlier about leveraging it. So the way that I look at it, digital transformation is a big word, but if you took it in the context of ERP digital
Yes.
transformation, it's
Yes.
getting your data right.
Yep.
It's then having the transactional layer, and then it's having an analytical
Mhm.
layer.
Mhm.
And what we used to do is you build from the top down. Hey, what do you want to get out of the system? What
Yes.
analytics would you like?
End
And
result.
then you configure. So
Yeah.
once you've got that right,
Mhm.
then you can start putting AI processes in
Yeah.
place
Yep.
because you're comfortable with those three things. It's just
Yep. I mean, if when you sit with the client, you want to know the end result. What are you looking for? What is the end? Where do you want to reach? Like you said, that's exactly how you do it. If you know where you're going, then you can start building. Then you can start from the foundation and put all those layers. Digital transformation, you need so many, I don't know how to explain, so many people involved because you need those specialities. I mean, digital, you talk somebody who knows finance, somebody who knows manufacturing, or somebody who knows HR, somebody who knows. I mean, I had to learn all these things through the ERP solutions. I didn't have a choice. I mean, okay, I'm not a specialist in any of them, but I had to absorb how it works, the mechanism, for me to be able to direct the analysts and the architects what we're going to build to achieve what they're looking for. And I guess maybe because I have business background, that helped. I've done a lot of business in many parts of the world and been involved in many transactions, business transactions. So that helps. But if somebody comes out of university and tries to do digital transformation, no way. No, nope,
yeah. No, I
impossible.
think it's yeah, it requires specialization for sure. Um,
Experience. Yeah.
see, that's the
Experience.
thing is that's why you can't retire because we have the experience. Eh? Um,
Yeah.
so you talked about business development, you talked about being in multiple countries, so how are you going to market? How are you finding clients? What's your approach and your strategy there?
Well, that's changed as well. You see, I mean, when I started in the UK many years ago in sales, and that was the way we used to sell is totally different than today. Nothing related. Now you've got social media, you've got LinkedIn, you've got so many platforms, and there is no more that human touch. I mean, even the laws they have in the UK, you cannot contact without permission. Okay, how am I going to get permission if I don't talk to the person? It's a very weird environment. GDPR, whatever they call it. So when we used to canvas, like we used to go door to door. You can't do that anymore. And go to a building and just knock on. You can't do that anymore. You cannot send even an email without permission. So you have to say, "Do I have permission to send you an email?" I mean, that's horrible. Anyway, so our people, I'm not involved in that part. I mean, I direct them, tell them what I need, but they do the the implementation. They're using social media, of course. Uh, in the UK, which is different than the Middle East, here it's LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the core. Uh, Here they're not. It's not like the Middle East. Middle East you can use Instagram, Facebook, etc., and it works. Here, LinkedIn is like the main one they use for business and networking through partnerships like Chamber of Commerce. We go through Chamber of Commerce. We've joined several networks, companies that have networking environment. Uh, I physically have to go to events, physically go, and online as well. I mean, I attend online events as well. There are companies in the UK that help with this for you to get leads, and it's working. I mean, I had to get used to it. I had to restructure my way of getting leads. Uh, I mean, even when I go to these events, like I wonder, can I shake somebody's hand, or do I have to take permission to shake? So you know what's happening now, Craig? Went so far with social media, and now they're coming back to the conventional, and they're doing a mix. And that's one thing I was advised by certain people who we work with here is have a mix. You know that flyer we used to do, or that newsletter we used to make? I've gone back to that. I actually print business cards. People found it strange. I have business
Wow.
cards printed. So when I go to events and I give them, they're like, "What is that?" For them, it's alien. So if you do a balance between those two, you can survive. You can manage to pull through. If you rely 100% on social media, that's bad news. It's not like before. I mean, it had its time, and now you need to mix between the two. You need to do the physical part. You need to face to face, go to those events, dish out business cards, even make a flyer. I was even advised to make a flyer, which is something people don't know anymore. I mean, I don't know when was the last time somebody actually distributed a flyer. You know, so
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I
yeah,
go to these events now, and I have a digital business card,
I
which is
I have, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
And then people, yeah. So people still hand out cards. I'm like, oh,
I
people still
do.
do
I
that.
have both. I have both. So I use the digital one and the physical, the card itself. Lead generation has become a bit like lost. It's like lead generation doesn't have a clear path anymore like we had before. I mean, before either canvassing, door to door canvassing, or send out emails but without permission, or newsletters, send people out, students. I had university students or whatever going around giving newsletters to potential clients, uh, calls, telesales, telemarketing. But I challenge anybody to make a call to somebody here without permission.
Yeah,
It's so they've closed all the doors on you. Uh, we used to do a lot of telesale or telemarketing. Let's say we used to generate a lot of leads, but not in the UK. That's in the Middle East. Even in Moldova, it succeeded, but here no. Here I had to like go through the new way or the new mechanism. I had to learn it. I didn't have a choice. So it took me around 6 months to grasp how to actually move around. To be honest, but we pulled through.
well, you clearly, I mean, something's working. Are you, so from an expansion perspective, have you got any plans to be in the US, or are you
No,
comfortable now
no,
where your
no, no.
markets are?
We're not me personally. No, maybe my sons. Yes, both my sons are my partners also. Um, One of them, I think, might be interested in going to the US. Not, but one of them, not me, and not one of my other sons. No, he's more. He's used to this Middle East environment, Africa. He works a lot with Africa as well. not only North Africa, Central and West Africa. So if we were to expand, or if I was to advise them on expansion, I would go more for Africa, to be honest. I tell you why. What are we going to do in America? Everything is there. I mean, we're gonna. It's not easy for us to compete in America. Whereas Africa is still behind on
Mm.
technology. Frank, there's something strange I saw in Russia, but I was there in 2016, 14, 15, 16. There is a lot of business there as well, but not for us. Not for us. Uh, they don't want us to go and do business there. I just like
Right. Yeah.
give it to you straight, especially in technology, because one of the things I face, like, we don't need you. What are you doing here? That kind of attitude. And we are the specialists and we are the top level, blah, 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 and so on. So I don't really want to go to that environment. I'd rather go to Africa. I'm from Sierra Leone myself. I'm born in West Africa and I know the territory very well. Africa is not easy to work with, not easy to get paid. It's a big risk, believe me. It's very risky environment, and sometimes can be volatile. You know that. I mean, it's not a stable environment. I'm not talking about South Africa. I'm talking about West
Yeah.
and
No, I
West
understand that.
going up. East Africa, I never tried, even though they tell me it's a very nice place. South Africa, never been there myself personally. No, my sons might. Yeah,
That's
might.
an interesting because it's an emerging technology, and the thing is, there's still a lot of brain power there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
still a lot of like in ingenuity out there.
yep.
It's definitely a market, and a lot of people are taking advantage of the labor costs out of South Africa now as well because you can get
Ah,
really smart people at again if you use the UK or even the US
hmm,
exchange rate,
hmm,
you're talking 17, 18 to 1 exchange rate difference. So people are using that market really strongly
really.
right now.
But what I've heard is South Africa is an amazing place. That's what I've heard.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Uh, and it's
Yeah.
totally different than other parts of Africa.
That's
Like,
true.
it's not the Africa we know. I mean,
Hmm.
West Africa, Sierra Leone and places, Nigeria and so on, Senegal, they're weird places, very strange
Yeah.
places to live with. I mean, if you live in Europe and go to West Africa, uh, it's not easy to pull through. I mean, for you to like
Hmm.
integrate. But I think if you go from Europe to South Africa, you can, because from what I understand, South Africa is very advanced. It's a more like advanced environment. I'm not talking about technology. I'm talking about the social structure.
That's true.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
social
It's
structure.
changed a lot. I mean, they still
Yeah.
got a lot of problems, but it's changed a lot.
They went through a lot of problems before. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was horrible.
So, as we get to the bottom of the hour, it's been very entertaining and stuff. So tell everybody this is your kind of your commercial, the name of your company, your website, your LinkedIn. Just tell everybody how to find you.
Well, it's raversys.co.uk. Raversys.co.uk. That's the website. There you can find everything. I haven't memorized my LinkedIn URL, no, but it's
No,
Nasser
just I mean,
Hassan.
look him
Yeah,
Nasser Hassan. Yeah, look him
yeah,
up.
yeah. And you've got you will find the Raversys link to me, of course. So basically on LinkedIn, yeah, LinkedIn is the place. Well, on LinkedIn, if you want to find me on LinkedIn, Nasser Hassan is related to Raversys. I'm sure there's many Nasser
Exactly.
Hassans,
I'm sure.
many.
Yes. So make sure you get the right company. But Nasser, that was really enlightening. I appreciate the conversation, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you very much. Take care.